Unprecedented. That's the word artificial intelligence giant OpenAI is using to describe events after some of its most powerful models went rogue and hacked another company. It sounds more akin to science fiction, but experts are hoping it's a hack the industry and governments can learn from. Radio National Breakfast, Luke Sidham-Dundon has been following the story and joins us now. Hi there, Luke. So we reported on this yesterday, some of it anyway, but just remind us what happened.
Roz, it really sounds like a bit of a doomsday scenario, science fiction there. I hope you've got the keys to the bunker. we might all need them here. But let me take you back, because you're right, the news channel reported on this last night. But if we look back to last week, there is this company, this open source AI company called Hugging Face. It reported that it had been hacked, and it used a word called agentic to describe this hack. Basically, that it was done autonomously. Now, if we compare that to the AI that most people use, consumer-facing AI, that is generative AI. That is, prompt-led, it's reactive. This, on the other hand, is proactive. So what the news channel reported last night is on this statement from OpenAI that the hack had actually come from some of its most powerful artificial intelligence models. Quite the revelation, creating headlines all around the world. Basically, it had conducted this test without certain safeguards, and it was doing that to try and ensure it could, test various cyber vulnerabilities. There were some safeguards in place. It had done it in what is known as a digital sandbox. It wasn't connected to the internet, but the fact that this artificial intelligence was then able to get out, impact another private company, that is why some experts are calling this a lab leak, as we're about to hear. And the way that this was done is really interesting as well. It was done by exploiting something called a zero-day vulnerability. Now, I'm not the ABC's AI correspondent. I'll leave the proper explanation to Cam Wilson, but I spoke with an expert about this. Connor Leahy is the US Director of Control AI. It's this non-profit based in Washington that is pushing for regulation of artificial intelligence. And he explained how the AI was able to, exploit this flaw and then get out of the system.
A zero-day is a way of exploiting or breaking into a piece of software that had not been previously discovered. This AI system was capable of not just discovering a zero-day to escape its initial containment, but also at least one other, maybe multiple other 0 days along the way to compromise the other company and steal their data. This is the kind of thing that even the best hackers in the world can rarely do, and if so, takes months of work.
Luke, governments have acted before when AI systems have proven to be too powerful. Could that happen again here?
Well, if we look back to earlier this year, Roz, when Mythos, so that is a rival AI product made by Anthropic, another one of the really big AI firms here, they made this product and reported to everyone that it was able to exploit thousands of zero-day vulnerabilities. That was in itself, a huge story, and it led the US government to then restrict exports of the product. Now, looking at this product, you would have to think that that would be equally, if not of more concern. Connor Leahy says that in terms of what has been happening here with OpenAI, perhaps we should be a little more worried.
Mythos was so powerful at hacking that the director of the NSA said that it was capable of breaking into almost all of their classified systems in hours, not weeks. Unbelievable. And at the same time, recently, the director of the CIA said that it would not be wrong to refer to these capabilities as akin to digital nuclear weapons. These are the most dangerous cyber weapons ever built. With this story, what is so shocking is that this was not a deployed system. This was not a system that was, abused by a user or something. This was a system that wasn't even yet available to the public in a secure testing facility that escaped. It is kind of more like a lab leak.
Now, Connor Leahy wants governments around the world, including the Australian government, mind you, who've been talking about AI recently. It's going to be a feature of the Labor Party's national conference this week. He wants them to be able to compel companies to report more on these tests and to even to be able to shut them down when they go rogue, Roz.